He was once untouchable. Then they said he was finished.
Virgil van Dijk, ooh, no.
Right foot, not enough cover. Behind Virgil van Dijk.
From leading Liverpool to Champions League glory and a Premier League title, to tearing his ACL in a brutal Merseyside derby, Virgil van Dijk's fall from the top wasn't just physical, it was psychological.
With Jovetic, and Jovetic is in again and scores.
The man who once made world-class strikers look like Sunday League players suddenly looked mortal, slower, hesitant, a shadow of the colossus we knew. And the critics didn't hold back. Washed, overrated, never the same again.
Legendary Dutch striker Marco van Basten has often been at the centre of it. Not only has the former Ballon d'Or winner said that Van Dijk needs to work on his presence, he's repeatedly criticised the defender's contribution with the ball.
Other legendary players like Ruud Gullit didn't hold back, tormenting the Dutch captain for what they termed his lack of leadership skills. But then, something changed. How did Van Dijk go from washed to world-class again in under a year? This isn't just a comeback, it's a reinvention. From tactical evolution to mental resilience, Van Dijk's 2025 isn't just a return to form. It might be the smartest version of him we've ever seen. This is the story of a man who didn't just recover. He recalibrated and reclaimed his crown.
What's the toughest defender you've played against in your life?
Van Dijk, I said before, he was really good. You know how tall he is, how strong he is, and how fast he is, and also the timing is crazy. I don't think I won one duel against him.
But to understand the gravity of Van Dijk's comeback, you need to remember just how dominant he was at his peak. When he arrived from Southampton in January 2018, for a then world record fee for a defender, there were doubts. £75 million for a centre-back? But Van Dijk didn't just justify the price tag. He redefined what a modern defender could be. Almost overnight, Liverpool's defense transformed. Gone were the days of chaos at the back. In came calm, control, and a presence so commanding it shifted the mentality of the entire team. By the 2019 to 2020 season, Liverpool weren't just winning, they were suffocating teams. Van Dijk was the rock at the heart of a side that went 64 games unbeaten at Anfield, marched to a Champions League trophy, and finally broke the 30-year wait for a Premier League title. He wasn't just defending, he was dominating. Strikers bounced off him, wingers gave up trying. In one stretch, he went 50-plus games without being dribbled past once. That's not defending, that's erasing people. His aerial ability, elite. His composure, icy. His leadership, irreplaceable. He made defending look easy, almost too easy. And the footballing world noticed. In 2019, Van Dijk finished second in the Ballon d'Or voting, the first defender in over a decade to even come close. He was the benchmark, the prototype. The closest thing to a cheat code at center back we've seen in the modern era. But then, one challenge, one injury, one moment changed everything. Just as Van Dijk had established himself as the most dominant defender in the world, everything changed in a single moment. On October 17, 2020, during the Merseyside derby against Everton, a reckless challenge from goalkeeper Jordan Pickford left Van Dijk clutching his knee.
Further clearance, that's towards Van Dijk. And Jordan Pickford has come right through.
He tried to walk it off, but the damage was already done. The diagnosis confirmed what Liverpool fans feared. Van Dijk had suffered a torn anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee and would miss the rest of the season.
The information that we are receiving is that he's done his anterior cruciate ligament, and if that is the case, he will be missing, well, I say he's done, in that incident with Jordan Pickford, and he'll be out for the best part of 7-8 months if that is the case.
His absence had an immediate and devastating impact on Liverpool. The team that had built its identity around defensive control suddenly looked exposed. Without Van Dijk's presence, calmness, and leadership at the back, Liverpool's title defense fell apart. They slipped out of contention, injuries piled up elsewhere, and the mystique that once surrounded their defense vanished. Van Dijk eventually returned at the start of the 2021-22 season, but the version of him that fans saw wasn't the one they'd known before. He still read the game well, still carried an air of authority, but the explosiveness, the aggression, the confidence in one-on-one duels, it all looked slightly diminished. His ground duels and defensive metrics reflected the change. According to data from FBref, Van Dijk won 74.4% of his duels during the 2019-20 campaign. By 2021-22, that figure had dropped below 65%, highlighting the hesitancy and caution in his game. critics began to question whether he'd ever be the same.
A journalist called him a bad defender, despite his leadership and defending skills in both Netherlands and his club, Liverpool.
Pundits wondered aloud if he had returned too soon or if his style of play was sustainable post-injury.
We're seeing the deficiencies of Virgil as well. I think that when Virgil was in his peak, it coincided with when Liverpool was in their peak. So optimal protection, optimal Robertson next to you, Matip's doing his thing. That team is on the front foot every time. You know what, Virgil? You don't even have to defend.
You don't see him defend that much.
Do you know what I mean?
Online fans who once praised him as the best in the world now labeled him overrated, past his prime, even washed.
He received criticism during the international break, Virgil van Dijk, from Marco van Basten, from Ruud Gullit, about his character, really, and his leadership skills.
It was a dramatic fall from grace for a player who just a year earlier had finished second in the Ballon d'Or and anchored a historic Liverpool side. The question became more pressing with every match. Was this the beginning of the end for Virgil van Dijk? A question fit for the footballing gods. Following his ACL injury, Virgil van Dijk's role within Liverpool's defense underwent a significant transformation. Recognizing the need to adapt to his reduced mobility, manager Jurgen Klopp implemented tactical adjustments to the team's defensive strategy. One notable change was moderating the previously high defensive line to offer Van Dijk greater protection, acknowledging that his recovery pace was not as it once was. To bolster the defense, Liverpool acquired Ibrahima Kanté from RB Leipzig for €40 million in 2021. Kanté, alongside Joel Matip, became integral to the defensive rotation, allowing Van Dijk to focus more on his positioning rather than relying solely on physical dominance. This strategic integration provided depth and stability to the back line, ensuring that the defensive responsibilities were more evenly distributed. Van Dijk's approach to defending evolved during this period. He emphasized tactical intelligence and anticipation over physicality, embodying a style reminiscent of Paolo Maldini's cerebral defending rather than Sergio Ramos's aggressive tactics. This shift not only prolonged his effectiveness on the field, but also set a standard for composed and calculated defense. Beyond his on-pitch adjustments, Van Dijk embraced a mentorship role within the squad. He took young defenders under his wing, offering guidance and support to help them navigate the challenges of professional football. His leadership extended beyond tactical advice. He provided personal support to teammates like Sepp Vandenberg, aiding them in acclimating to life at Liverpool. He told reporters, "I remember on my first day, he'd said to the kit man, make sure his place in the dressing room is next to mine. And it was one of those small things that made me feel more at home." This nurturing approach underscored his commitment to the team's collective growth and cohesion. In essence, Van Dijk's evolution from a commanding presence to a strategic contributor highlighted his adaptability and enduring value to Liverpool. By adjusting his play style and embracing leadership responsibilities, he continued to exemplify excellence, albeit in a more nuanced and mature capacity. Then, his light shone brightly, and no one could dim it. Under Arne Slot's management in the 2024-25 season, Liverpool's defensive strategies underwent significant refinement that had a profound impact on Virgil van Dijk's performance. Slot implemented a more structured defensive formation, transitioning from the traditional 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1 setup. This adjustment provided the backline, particularly Van Dijk, with enhanced coverage and support. These tactical changes, combined with Van Dijk's dedication to rehabilitation, led to a remarkable resurgence in his athletic capabilities. He regained much of his previous agility and speed, which, when paired with his refined positional awareness, reinstated his status as an elite defender. The revival was evident in his renewed confidence during one-on-one duels and his trademark long diagonal passes, which became prominent features of Liverpool's play once more. Assuming the captaincy in July 2023, Van Dijk's leadership qualities became increasingly apparent. He guided the team with a composed and authoritative presence, fostering a sense of resilience and unity within the squad. His influence extended both beyond the pitch, as he played a pivotal role in mentoring younger players and maintaining high team morale. Statistically, Van Dijk's impact was quantifiable. He recorded a goal and an assist in 14 Premier League appearances, contributing to 7 clean sheets during that period.
It's Van Dijk, it's saved by the goalkeeper, this time it's not, His aerial dominance and defensive interventions were instrumental in Liverpool's defensive solidity. Key performances against top-tier teams like Manchester City and Arsenal highlighted Van Dijk's return to form. His defensive acumen and leadership were crucial in securing victories and maintaining clean sheets in these high-stake matches. Such displays reignited discussions among fans and pundits, with many reaffirming his position as one of the premier center-backs in world football. Van Dijk's resurgence not only solidified Liverpool's defense, but also reinforced his legacy as a central figure in the team's success during the 2024-25 season. But how does he compare to all-time greats like Paolo Maldini, John Terry, and Sergio Ramos?
Virgil van Dijk, for the last 7-8 years, has been one of the best centre-backs in the world.
My player is arguably probably the best defender of all time. None of this Virgil van Dijk. Sergio Ramos.
Sergio Ramos, one of the best defenders of all time.
Technically, million times better than Virgil. Been in a prime way longer than Virgil van Dijk.
Because he's older! Virgil's still in it!
No, he's not in his prime anymore!
Let's find out. Virgil van Dijk's career is adorned with numerous accolades that underscore his impact on football. At Liverpool, he has been instrumental in securing major titles, including the Premier League, UEFA Champions League, FA Cup, UEFA Super Cup, and FIFA Club World Cup. Individually, Van Dijk's excellence has been recognized with awards such as PFA Players, Player of the Year, and Premier League Player of the Season. When comparing Van Dijk to defensive legends like Nemanja Vidic, John Terry, Paolo Maldini, and Sergio Ramos, his influence is notable. Fans and pundits have engaged in debates about his standings among the greats, with some rankings placing him alongside these iconic figures. Notably, former Chelsea captain John Terry has included Van Dijk in his list of the Premier League's top centre-backs, highlighting the respect he commands among peers. As Van Dijk continues to perform at an elite level and adds to his list of achievements under current management, discussions about his place among the greatest defenders in football history are increasingly warranted. His blend of leadership, defensive prowess, and consistency positions him as a strong candidate for inclusion in the top echelons of defensive legends. Virgil van Dijk's journey from a career-threatening injury to the pinnacle of football is nothing short of inspirational. His resilience and determination have not only revitalized his own career, but have also reinforced Liverpool's defensive strength. During the 2024-25 Premier League season, Van Dijk's performances were instrumental in Liverpool's success, contributing significantly to the team's achievements. His exceptional form has reignited debates about his standing among the Premier League's defensive greats. Pundits and fans alike are now considering Van Dijk alongside legendary figures such as John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, and Tony Adams. Jamie Carragher, for instance, has praised Van Dijk's performances, suggesting he is among the best defenders to have graced the Premier League. This resurgence prompts a compelling question. Is Virgil van Dijk the greatest Premier League defender ever? We invite you to share your thoughts and engage in this discussion. If you enjoyed this analysis, please like and subscribe for more content. Also, check out our deep analysis on the rise of Lamine Yamal, Kylian Mbappe, and Alexander Isak. Thanks for watching, and see you there.